Hey, welcome. I bet you didn't know about the most dangerous leaders in history. Throughout history, certain leaders have left an indelible mark on the world. Their actions, whether for good or ill, have shaped the course of human events. From the sprawling empires of the ancient world to the tumultuous battlefields of the 20th century, these individuals have wielded immense power and influence. Today, we embark on a journey to explore the lives and legacies of the most dangerous men in history. Leaders who, through their ambition, ideology, and ruthlessness, changed the world forever. Their stories are tales of triumph and tragedy, of innovation and destruction, and they offer profound lessons about the nature of power and the human condition. Join me now as we delve into the annals of history to uncover the motivations, the methods, and the lasting impact of these most dangerous leaders. From the ashes of a defeated Germany, scarred by the First World War and economic turmoil, rose a figure who would come to embody both the darkest depths and the intoxicating allure of power. Adolf Hitler, a name synonymous with evil, was a master manipulator, harnessing the frustrations of a nation to fuel his own twisted ambitions. Hitler's rise to power was as swift as it was terrifying. Exploiting the economic anxieties of the German people, he offered them a scapegoat. Minorities, intellectuals, anyone deemed different or threatening to his vision of a pure Aryan race. His words, laced with venom and a dangerous charisma, resonated with a population desperate for a savior. The Nazi Party, once a fringe group, gained a stranglehold on German society. Propaganda flooded the airwaves, painting Hitler as a messianic figure destined to restore Germany to its former glory. The Reichstag fire, a pivotal moment in Hitler's ascent, allowed him to consolidate power, silencing dissent, and paving the way for a totalitarian regime. With Germany firmly under his control, Hitler set his sights on expansion. The invasion of Poland in 1939 marked the beginning of World War II, a conflict that would engulf the globe in a maelstrom of unprecedented violence and destruction. The world watched in horror as Hitler's armies marched across Europe, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. Central to Hitler's ideology was a chilling and meticulously planned genocide, the Holocaust. Millions of Jews, Roma, LGBTQ individuals and other minorities were systematically murdered in concentration camps, their lives extinguished in an act of unimaginable barbarity. The gas chambers of Auschwitz-Birkenau stand as a chilling testament to the horrors inflicted by Hitler's regime. The world united against the Nazi threat, and after 6 long years of war, Hitler's dreams of domination lay in ruins. The Führer, once a figure of terrifying power, met his end in a Berlin bunker, his legacy forever stained by the blood of millions. Hitler's rise and fall serve as a stark warning about the dangers of unchecked ambition, the seductive power of propaganda, and the fragility of peace. His reign of terror remains a chilling reminder of humanity's capacity for evil, a dark chapter in our history that we must never forget. The scars of Hitler's reign run deep, a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the ever-present potential for human darkness to resurface. Yet from the ashes of destruction, the world learned a valuable lesson about the importance of vigilance, tolerance, and the defense of human dignity. The echoes of Hitler's atrocities continue to resonate, urging us to remain vigilant against all forms of hatred and discrimination. His legacy serves as a constant reminder of the need to protect the vulnerable, to challenge injustice, and to never forget the victims of his horrific crimes. In the vast expanse of Russia, a revolution had swept away the Tsar, promising a new era of equality and prosperity. But from the ashes of this upheaval emerged a figure as ruthless as any Tsar, Joseph Stalin, a man who would transform the Soviet Union into a global superpower, but at a cost few could have imagined. Stalin's rise to power was a masterclass in political maneuvering. Through cunning and ruthlessness, he outmaneuvered his rivals, consolidating his grip on the Communist Party and ultimately, the entire nation. His paranoia knew no bounds, and he saw enemies everywhere, real or imagined. Under Stalin's iron-fisted rule, the Soviet Union underwent a period of rapid industrialization and collectivization. Millions of peasants were forced from their land and into collective farms, a brutal process that led to widespread famine and suffering. Those who resisted were met with swift and brutal repression. Fear became the defining characteristic of Stalin's reign. The Great Purge, a period of political repression unmatched in its scope, saw millions arrested, executed, or sent to labor camps known as gulags. No one, not even high-ranking party officials, were safe from Stalin's paranoia. The NKVD, Stalin's secret police, became an instrument of terror, spreading fear and silencing dissent. Show trials, carefully orchestrated spectacles of confession and condemnation, eliminated any perceived threats to Stalin's power. The very fabric of Soviet society was torn apart by suspicion and fear. Despite the horrors he inflicted upon his own people, Stalin transformed the Soviet Union into a major industrial and military power. His leadership during World War II, while brutal and unforgiving, was instrumental in defeating Nazi Germany. The Soviet people endured unimaginable sacrifices, but their victory came at a staggering cost. Stalin's legacy is a complex and contradictory one. He is remembered as both a ruthless dictator responsible for the deaths of millions, and as a wartime leader who played a pivotal role in defeating fascism. His impact on the 20th century is undeniable, shaping the course of the Cold War and the global balance of power. The ghost of Stalin's reign continued to haunt the Soviet Union long after his death. His successors struggled to come to terms with his legacy, attempting to reform the system he had created while also grappling with the enduring consequences of his crimes. The Soviet Union itself would eventually crumble under the weight of its own contradictions, but not before leaving an indelible mark on the world. The legacy of Stalin's reign serves as a chilling reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and the human cost of totalitarian ideology. Chapter 3. Genghis Khan, the scourge and architect of an empire. From the windswept steppes of Central Asia, a leader emerged, uniting disparate Mongol tribes under his banner. Genghis Khan, a name that would strike terror into the hearts of his enemies, was a brilliant military strategist and a ruthless conqueror, forging an empire that stretched from the Pacific Ocean to Eastern Europe. Born Temujin, Genghis Khan's early life was marked by hardship and adversity. Orphaned at a young age, he faced betrayal, imprisonment, and constant threat from rival clans. Yet, through cunning, determination, and an unyielding will, he overcame these challenges, uniting the Mongol tribes under his rule. Genghis Khan's military genius was undeniable. He revolutionized Mongol warfare, introducing a sophisticated system of communication, logistics, and discipline. His cavalry, renowned for their speed and agility, could cover vast distances, appearing seemingly out of nowhere to overwhelm their enemies. The Mongol army, under Genghis Khan's command, swept across Asia in a whirlwind of conquest. Cities that resisted were met with brutal efficiency, their populations decimated and their treasures plundered. Genghis Khan's reputation for ruthlessness preceded him, sowing fear and prompting many to surrender without a fight. Yet Genghis Khan was more than just a conqueror. He was a skilled administrator and a shrewd lawmaker. He implemented a legal code, the Yasa, which promoted religious tolerance, protected messengers and travelers, and established a meritocratic system within his empire. Genghis Khan's empire, vast and diverse, connected east and west like never before. The Silk Road under Mongol protection flourished, facilitating trade and cultural exchange between Europe and Asia. Genghis Khan's reign marked a period of unprecedented connectivity and globalization. Despite his reputation for brutality, Genghis Khan's empire ushered in a period of Pax Mongolica, a century of relative peace and stability across Eurasia. This era saw the flourishing of art, science, and literature as ideas and innovations flowed freely across the Mongol domains. Genghis Khan's legacy is a complex tapestry of conquest, brutality, and surprisingly tolerance and cultural exchange. He remains a revered figure in Mongolia, a symbol of national unity and pride. His impact on world history is undeniable, shaping the demographics, politics, and culture of Eurasia for centuries to come. While his methods were often brutal, Genghis Khan's empire played a pivotal role in connecting East and West, facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and technologies. His story serves as a reminder that even the most ruthless of conquerors can leave behind a complex and enduring legacy. Chapter 4. Mao Zedong, the Great Helmsman's Revolution and its Cost. From the heart of a nation grappling with poverty, foreign intervention, and internal strife, a new leader emerged, promising a brighter future for the Chinese people. Mao Zedong, a revolutionary and strategist of unparalleled charisma, would lead China through a tumultuous period of transformation, forever altering the course of the world's most populous nation. Mao's journey to power was a long and arduous one. Leading the Communist Party through years of civil war against the nationalist forces, he employed guerrilla tactics and mass mobilization, rallying the peasantry to his cause with promises of land reform and an end to oppression. The Long March, a harrowing retreat across thousands of miles of treacherous terrain, solidified Mao's status as a legendary figure within the Communist Party. His leadership during this epic journey cemented his authority and forged an unbreakable bond with his followers. With the establishment of the People's Republic of China in 1949, Mao embarked on an ambitious program of social and economic engineering. Land redistribution, collectivization of agriculture, and the rapid industrialization of the country were central to his vision of a socialist utopia. However, Mao's grand experiment came at a terrible human cost. The Great Leap Forward, an attempt to rapidly transform China into an industrial powerhouse, led to widespread famine and the deaths of millions. The Cultural Revolution, a decade of political and social upheaval, unleashed chaos and violence, tearing apart the fabric of Chinese society. Despite the tragedies that unfolded under his rule, Mao remained a deeply revered figure. His portrait, prominently displayed in Tiananmen Square, became a symbol of China's newfound strength and independence on the world stage. Mao's legacy remains a subject of intense debate and controversy. While his supporters credit him with unifying China, modernizing the country, and elevating its global standing, his critics point to the devastating consequences of his policies and the cult of personality that surrounded him. The impact of Mao's rule on China and the world is undeniable. His ideas about revolution, anti-imperialism and socialist development resonated far beyond China's borders, inspiring movements and shaping political discourse throughout the 20th century. Chapter 5. Napoleon Bonaparte, the Emperor who remade Europe. From the sun-drenched island of Corsica, a young man of extraordinary ambition and military genius would rise to conquer much of Europe. Napoleon Bonaparte, a name synonymous with both brilliance and tyranny, left an indelible mark on the course of history, reshaping the political landscape of Europe and leaving behind a legacy that continues to fascinate and inspire. Napoleon's rise to power was nothing short of meteoric. A brilliant military strategist, he rose through the ranks during the chaos of the French Revolution, distinguishing himself in campaigns in Italy and Egypt. His tactical genius and charisma on the battlefield captivated the French people, who saw in him a savior and a leader. Staging a coup d'état, Napoleon seized control of the French government, crowning himself emperor in 1804. He embarked on a series of military campaigns that would redraw the map of Europe, conquering vast swaths of territory and establishing his dominance over much of the continent. Napoleon's military victories were legendary. From the Battle of Austerlitz, a masterpiece of tactical brilliance, to the bloody clash at Borodino, his armies seemed invincible. He introduced reforms that modernized warfare, created a centralized state apparatus, and implemented a legal code that still bears his name. However, Napoleon's ambition ultimately proved to be his undoing. His invasion of Russia in 1812, a disastrous campaign through the unforgiving Russian winter, decimated his Grand Armée and marked a turning point in his fortunes. Defeated by a coalition of European powers, Napoleon was exiled to the island of Elba. He escaped and returned to France, rallying his supporters for one last desperate gamble, the 100 Days' War. However, his final defeat at Waterloo marked the end of his reign and ushered in a new era in European history. Napoleon's legacy is a complex and multifaceted one. He is remembered as a military genius, a visionary reformer, and a ruthless tyrant. His conquests spread the ideals of the French Revolution throughout Europe, but his wars also resulted in unprecedented bloodshed and suffering. The Napoleonic Code, a comprehensive legal system that enshrined principles of equality before the law and individual liberty, had a profound and lasting impact on legal systems around the world. Napoleon's reforms centralized power, modernized administration, and left a lasting imprint on French society. These leaders, through their actions and decisions, have left a lasting impact on the world. Their legacies serve as powerful reminders of the profound influence one individual can have on the course of history. From the ashes of war and revolution to the rise and fall of empires, their stories offer valuable lessons about the nature of power, the complexities of human ambition, and the enduring struggle for freedom and justice. As we reflect on the lives and legacies of these most dangerous leaders, we are reminded of the importance of critical thinking, ethical leadership, and the constant vigilance required to safeguard human rights and prevent the rise of tyranny. The echoes of their actions resonate through history, urging us to learn from the past and strive to create a more just and peaceful future. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content.